Hi guys, well today I decided it's been quite a long time since I did a product review, as I promised you back when I was reviewing my Footsore miniature figures, when I got them, I told you I would do another review once I'd finished painting them, and this week's task was to get them finished painted, or at least the first 10, and I've done that. I've completed them, so this is just a small quick review to talk to you about the Footsore Miniatures 1930s and 1940s civilian range. There are two packs available. There is an urban pack and a rural pack with 5 characters per pack. I bought 3 of each pack, so basically I've got 30 civilians, and my intention is to have 3 groups of 10 on movement trays moving down the 3 main roads across my table for my early war bolt action game, and these civilians are going to be these figures are going to work perfectly for my Battle of Belgium / Battle of France early war scenario. Historically, the Germans essentially kind of shepherded the refugees down the particular roads in order to cause lots of problems for British vehicles moving towards the front lines, and actually Allied vehicles in general. You know, that because the roads became very blocked with refugees, it was very difficult for them to move vehicles to the front to meet the German advance, and because of that, the Germans gained an advantage. So to represent that in my game, I decided to buy these. So we have 10 uniquely sculpted individuals. Let's start off with the urban pack. At the back here, what I've tried to do is put them against the black to help them stand out. I don't think it's worked all that well, so we'll probably end up doing a zoomed in with my sort of photo box that I made. But basically, we've got a man reading a newspaper. In fact, let me just zoom in there. In fact, no, let's forget that. We'll let's go straight to the photo booth, and we'll check it out then. So let's go. Okay, guys. So here we have the 1930s / 1940s urban set from Footsore Miniatures. So just starting from the right, we've got the chap with the newspaper. Tried my best with the newspaper. Not sure how well it's come out, but at a distance it doesn't look bad at all, I think. I've gone for a blue blue suit, which I used a GW paint for. I believe it's the Ultra Marines blue. So that was the blue I used for that, and then I used a lighter one, a Lotheren blue, to create the stripes for his pinstripe suit, or actually that might have actually been a grey. Yeah, that was a grey colour, so I used a grey on that to give him pinstripes. Next we've got a lady who reminds me a little bit of Mrs. Fox from Dad's Army. So I think when I get round to doing some Home Guard platoons, and particularly my Dad's Army set, I think what I'll be doing is using her as Mrs. Fox. But she's a great character and full of that character. So really pleased with her. Next to her, we have a man. I painted him with a grey suit and sort of a beige raincoat. He was a lot of fun as well. Very nice to do him. And then we have next to him the schoolboy. And I really had a lot of fun with this, creating my own sort of school uniform pattern. And if I just turn him, you'll be able to see that he's sort of got lighter blue stripes, which I did use the Lotheren blue over a much darker blue, the Mordian blue. Okay. And I think he's come out great. He looks really good, and I think the other two that I have just like him, I might do in the same school uniform as if they're escaping with a class. So Yeah, quite excited to get around to that. And then finally, the chap on the left, he reminds me a little bit of Walker from Dad's Army. Looks a little bit like a I can't remember what they're called. I think it's like a it's not a spliff because that's a spiff. There we go. He reminds me of a spiff, sort of standing there in his suit, smoking his cigarette, which was quite fun to do. I think I used a bit of red and a little bit of burnished gold on the tip over the top of the red, and it came out with a nice little effect. And he's just come out great. He looks really super. You'll notice that the bases, what I've done, as I demonstrated in one of my bolt action basic videos, I used some green stuff to create a cobbled stone effect, much like I did with the bridge that I created for my game, which you can see in the series On the Road to OKC 2016. So that's the urban lot. I hope you'll agree they look absolutely brilliant, and there's a lot of potential to use them in various different ways, for bolt action or for any other game. They'd work very well for a very British Civil War, which is a good game, and yeah, pretty much anything that perhaps you want some civilians as scatter terrain or an objective, or just to kind of bring your table to life, really. So that's the urbans. Let's move over now and take a look at the urban figures. Okay, so we have our urban figures. Starting on the right, we have a chap. To me, he looks a little bit like he might have been meant to be a vicar, but I've already got a vicar from my Dad's Army box set, so I didn't really want to do another vicar. So I've painted this guy up as if he's perhaps some sort of university lecturer, maybe escaping in the kind of in the wave of refugees moving away from the Germans. Maybe this man feels that his life could be at danger and he's moving away as well. So particularly like him, added a nice little touch of grey in with the black to give a sort of greyish hair effect, which is really fun to paint civilians, I think, for that purpose. You can do just something a little bit different than you would when you're painting soldiers. You can add the sort of characters of life rather than the characters of war to the figures. So I really like it for that purpose, and all of these figures were a lot of fun to paint. Even if you're just somebody who likes to paint miniatures and you don't necessarily play, these are great miniatures. They have a lot of detail, a lot of character, and they're a lot of fun to paint. The guy next to him has a shovel, and again, I wasn't sure quite what to do, how to make that work with the fact that I was using a cobbled stone. So what I've done is I've made it look like, added a bit of sand on top of the cobblestones, and it makes it look like he's kind of working on repairing the road. Obviously, if he's a refugee, he's not going to be doing that, but it was a little bit difficult to know what to do with a man with a shovel anyway, in the context of refugees. So he'll work like that, and he'll look great on other games, just as sort of I suppose scenery terrain, scanner terrain. So yeah, I really like him. He was a lot of fun. We've got a guy in the middle there carrying a sack of produce, and again, he was a lot of fun to paint. The clothing itself is quite quick to paint, which is really nice. You don't have to worry about all the webbing, and because of that, you can take a little bit of time to add a little bit more detail. So on the suspenders on that chap, I've just added where it would be attached to his waist belt. I've added some little brown sort of buttons, painted those on. Likewise with the girl next to him, I have added the detail of the bow on the back of her hair. It was already sculpted on, but I've just painted that, and that was enjoyable. And then this very matronly woman, who I think is absolutely great. She's got so much character to her, and with her hair, I tried to give her a sort of similar colour to the girl, with like a browny, a sort of blonde brown colour. I think I use Snakebite Leather, which is a GW colour. And then mixed in a little bit of grey with that just to give her a little bit of age to her. But once again, they were all very, very fun to paint. I use GW colours for all of the figures, and use GW inks just to ink them over. The only Vallejo colour I used was actually on the dirt, the flat earth, for the where the shovel meets the ground. And then I put a bit of GW wash over that to give it a bit of depth. So yeah, that is the figures close up. Let's head back to the chair and we'll wrap this up. Okay, so Footsore Miniatures 1930s to 1940s figures. I would highly recommend these to anybody, particularly people who are looking for civilian figures. In the sort of search for some figures to represent my refugees in the game, I went through quite a few companies and actually found that these were the best. There's a lot of variety in the ranges. The sculpts are absolutely beautiful. Metal figures, which is great. I don't think anybody does plastic civilians. I'm really hoping one day Warlord might bring out a box set of plastic civilians with lots of, you know, different options there because they're plastics, but fingers crossed on that one. But yeah, I mean, they're absolutely great range, as I say, and I'm looking forward to painting the others up in a very different manner. Possibly changing the skin tone, changing the different colours of the suits. I might make the guy who looks like he's a preacher. Maybe I might actually make one so that my other preacher has got a friend to chat to, perhaps in a game. Yeah, kind of just have fun with it and enjoy it. And they have been enjoyable to paint. So from a collector's point of view, I highly recommend these. From a gamer's point of view, I highly recommend these. Yeah, I really can't fault them. So thank you very much to Footsore Miniatures for creating such a lovely range. Andrew Chesney and Bill Thornton, I think it's Bill Thornton, are the two guys behind Footsore Miniatures. They've got some great other ranges. I'd love to explore those at some point, but with so many projects going on as it is, I can't just yet. But maybe one day, So, that's really it from us today. Do look out for some more product reviews, as I've received quite a few more products in the last couple of weeks, and hopefully we'll have some more on the way very soon. So, from me and all of us at Tees Foam and Terrain, thank you very much for watching. If you've liked this video, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and we will catch you very soon in another video. Okay, take care, have a great day.